All right, guys, welcome to our January Load Across the Globe meeting. So first, a few things I real quick want to talk about. Oh, where'd my picture go? Okay. First thing is Team of the Week. I don't know why it's not showing up, so I'll just screen share it over here. All right, so Team of the Week. Each week we nominate a different team to feature on our website. The current Team of the Week is the Comets from North Dakota. We are very excited to have a North Dakota team join. That was one of the states we still needed. But yes, if you are interested in having your team featured on our website, I know some of you on here have already done that, so thank you for doing that. We have previous Teams of the Week down here. Let me show my, I don't know where the picture went. Yes, this is the previous Teams of the Week. A lot of them are on the call right now. Hang on, we have more people joining. All right. So yeah, thank you to our Teams of the Week. Then our Discord, if you haven't already, and I think most of you are on our Discord, but there's a link to join that we can continue discussions from outside of meetings. And then next is our Decode resources. So that can all be found at loadrobotics.org, and I'll screen share that real fast. So we have our Decode game manual quiz, which I recommend for having all your drivers and honestly everyone on your team take. It's really helpful. And then also our Decode Booklet for playing with your team, and that's a lot of fun. Just making sure everyone knows the game rules. And then we have our Decode game overview. That's for giving to parents and any spectators just a brief overview of the game rules, and then also the Decode scouting sheet. So you can find all that on our website, loadrobotics.org. Also, if you're interested in any Decode bling, we just started an Etsy shop a few weeks ago. So we've got artifact earrings and keychains. So you can check that out at loadrobotics.etsy.com. That we 3D print them and then we can send them out. So let me pull up my slideshow again. Sorry. That's the Decode bling. And we have RC merch coming soon. As soon as their season drops on January 10th, we'll get those out. All right, team statistics for our load across the globe. We've got 185 teams. That's from 45 U.S. states and 36 countries. So the only states we need left are Louisiana, Nevada, New Mexico, Tennessee, and Vermont. So if you know of any teams from there, and Miriam, you volunteering in Vermont, feel free to invite them to load across the globe. We would love to get our all 50 teams, or teams from all 50 states. All right, next meetings real quick. Our next meeting will be February 15th at noon EST, or same time as it was today for if you're in different time zones. Sorry. Yes, sorry, Eli, once again at 3 a.m. And we'll have GearView from just over the border in New Jersey. And they'll be presenting on portfolio optimization. So that'll be pretty good. They won the Edison Division Inspire at Worlds last year. So that should be pretty exciting. And then March 23rd at 7:30 p.m. EST, which that should be 10:30 a.m. in Australia, I believe. So you won't have to stay up that late. Eli, and we'll invite the Blue Bot Builders again. And that would be the Terra Bridges. They're from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and they'll be telling us all about their assistive technology and then also the Connect Award. So that should be pretty fun too. So yeah, I'll be sending all that information out again on the Discord in the announcements. All right, our meeting today. So first we'll do introductions. Then we'll have our FTAs. We'll present all about FTAs Decoded and what is an FTA? What do you guys do? What do you wish teams knew about the season? And then we'll have our questions and discussion for that. And then we'll jump into how to help rookies from the rookie team FTC Kraken. And then we'll have discussions for that. So for introductions, I'll stop my slideshow in a second, but we'll just go around, introduce your team, team name, number, and where you're from. And then as usual, I will post all the teams who attended in our Discord when we're done after the meeting. So let me stop my presentation. I'll have our team introduce themselves first. Who wants to jump in? David, do you want to do that? Just talk really loud.
Hello everyone, we are team 25609 Load Robotics from Delaware, USA. This is our second year competing in FTC, and we're very excited for the Decode season.
Sorry, he's so quiet. He's across the room, but yeah. All right, who would like to introduce themselves next? All right, we've got one in the chat. Sully from the Tech Titans from Ohio. Awesome. The Mad Engineers. That's Siddharth said that. Okay, yes. Who else would like to introduce themselves?
Hello, we are team 26587 666 from Cambridgeshire, UK. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And we'd just like to say this entire scheme of load across the globe is pretty cool. And I hope everyone enjoys it as much as I have done all these times.
Thank you. Yeah, we're glad to have you. All right, anyone else? I see another one in the chat. The Blue Bananas from Huntsville, Alabama. Awesome. We're glad to have you join us. Would anyone else
Howdy, y'all. I'm here representing Team 19991 Chuckleheads from North Texas.
Awesome. We're glad to have you join us. Anyone else want to introduce yourselves?
Glad to be here.
I'm Adrija V from Kraken in Michigan.
Yeah, and we'll have you presenting later. All right, Mad Engineers from India. Yeah, we're happy to have an India team. Thank you for joining. I know it's like 10:30 at night for you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, anyone else want to introduce yourselves? All right, then.
Dylan says spirit.
Okay. All right, so if no one else wants to introduce themselves, I'll have our FTAs go ahead and get started. If you guys want to screen share, I can. All right, you should be able to now. Okay, yes, representing yourself. And then Dylan is here in spirit.
Okay, can people see my screen?
We can, yes.
All right, great. So these are some things that we want teams to know. And then, all right, so who are we? Hi, I'm Miriam. I'm an FTA in Chesapeake and Vermont this year. And then I'm also an alum of 4 different teams over 6 years. Zach.
I'm Zach. I'm an FTA in Massachusetts and an FTA on Long Island. I'm an alum of Team 8110 and a mentor of 8110 and one of their sister teams. So first, we'd like to get into what is an FTA. Here is a convenient description from FIRST. And it kind of discusses a little bit of what an FTA is. We do support teams resolve field and robot control issues and work with other volunteers and staff to ensure a safe and successful event. But I don't think that's very specific. I think you guys will agree with me on that. Basically, the role of an FTA is to ensure that everything gets done properly. And we are primarily an advocate for teams. This is evident in a lot of situations. The first one is inspection, where it is one of our goals to ensure that every single robot passes inspection on a reasonable time frame, we hope. And throughout the day, to ensure that every team can continue to compete successfully. And then we're also working with all of the volunteers, including the CSAs and scorekeepers and field supervisors, to ensure that the event also proceeds on time so that we can all leave at a proper hour. And like all volunteers, we can be bribed with snacks.
Bribe us away. So the first thing I want to tell you is throw away your Tamiya connectors. So those connectors that a lot of teams that come with the Tetrix and Matrix batteries, they have a loose wire inside the connector. So I have seen teams disconnect in a match because of it multiple times. So go use your the nice power pole connectors. The Studica batteries come pre-installed on them, or just get any battery and crimp them on. I strongly recommend it, cannot recommend it enough.
Also, please secure your battery to your robot. Here's a convenient photo of a team that did not do that. And as you can see, the battery is not attached to the robot. There are a lot of problems with not securing your battery to your robot. Most importantly is it's a risk of entanglement. Another team can get trapped in there. It's also a risk of straining wires and disconnecting, which is bad. And it can also cause your robot to be larger than the sizing cube, which itself is also illegal. This actually happened to a different team at an event I was at, and we asked the robot to disable itself, and so turn it off, because it's a risk of a lot of different things happening. And so that team was unable to play the rest of that match.
And then on a similar note, so think about your power switch location. So this picture was actually taken at an event I was at earlier this season. Team, you can see their power switch, which is circled, is at the very their front or back of their robot. I don't know how they do it, but it actually, during a match, there's a lot of robot to robot interaction, and it got bumped, and there wasn't anything I, as the FTA, was able to do about it other than tell them, move your power switch before your next match. So please don't put your power switch in the exposed location. But on that note, I have to say, make sure it's accessible. Like in this example, like putting it like I think they ultimately moved it to be like on top of the U channel of one of their drivetrain, perfectly accessible, but another robot is not going to accidentally hit it.
Please protect and label your wiring. This picture, my brother would like everyone to know that his team did not think about their power switch location. He just texted me that. He's like sitting right next to me, listening. Anyway, please protect and label your wiring. Again, it's a risk of entanglement if it's not protected. So what protecting wiring can look like is you don't have a picture of what good wire protection looks like. Thank you, Philip. But you can also buy little labels to put on your wires so that you know what everything is plugged into. Because when you have a giant servo extension that goes from your servo hub, like all the way across your linear slides and up to a servo, when it inevitably breaks, you will want to know how to replace it and not have to go through every single wire on your robot. And again, it's also, don't make sure that it's protected. Use cable sleeves, use something, and zip tie it to your structural pieces so that other robots cannot hook into your wires and attempt to destroy your robot accidentally.
And then the next thing is protect your driver station. So if you don't want to drop your driver station, so that was like a little tray that my team made last year. We velcroed our driver hub and a power bank to the tray so that they weren't going anywhere, and it was really easy to carry around. Also, you don't want to drop your driver hub and have it break, so the tray makes it easier to not drop it, and then in addition, make a case for it, or alternatively buy a case from Philip. So I strongly recommend do everything you can to protect your driver hub, and if you do drop it, and make sure that you are not going to drop it.
On a similar note, use an external battery with your driver station. This is especially important if you're using a rev driver hub, because the rev driver hub battery is really, really bad. And if it dies at an event and you try to switch out the battery, it will not work because the rev driver hub stores battery calibration information. For more information, there is an FTC tech tip on this about Danny. Um, but some gamepads will also use a lot of power, and so you will want an external battery pack, preferably something with a USB-C port because the rev driver hub needs the USB-C port to charge. And going along with what Miriam said on the last slide, it is also very helpful if you get some kind of physical operator console that you can attach your driver hub and your battery and your gamepads to and carry them around, and so they don't fall.
All right.
So do that, please.
Yeah. And then again, similar note, so keep your driver station on. So sometimes I've actually seen this at events earlier this season, like the teams, like they had to have a screen timeout and then it would, come back. And then they had to they discovered during the match, they had to unplug and replug their game pads. And then there's sometimes it's the Wi-Fi on your driver hub has trouble recovering. So just please keep your driver station screen on. If you have an external battery, then you're not worried about that being a problem. So just disable the screen timeout. Don't push the power button in queue. Just don't let it ever go to sleep. That avoids so many problems that I have seen this season and previous seasons.
Please use star rates on your gamepads. This information was graciously provided by Philip, who is here, so he's going to talk now. Philip, talk.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, I was just trying to connect my microphone. Okay, so something you want to consider, especially this season and other seasons in the future when we use the driver hub, is that ESD spikes can sometimes travel up the controller wires into the driver hub, disconnecting the driver hub Wi-Fi chip. Don't ask me how I figured that out, but it was a bit of trial and error. But more or less, it will disconnect your driver hub Wi-Fi chip for a moment, and it will restart. It sometimes can kill the Wi-Fi chip. I think I've had an instance of that happening. But placing a ferrite choke on the controller cable right as it plugs into the driver hub has been found to be pretty effective at mitigating this issue.
And the old FTC Discord had some bug zapper evidence of this. And so, speaking of Wi-Fi problems, don't block your Wi-Fi radio. So in this picture, they had their control hub just off to the side of their robot, facing in towards the rest of the robot, such that all of their motors and metal that was inside of their robot blocked the Wi-Fi radio. And it worked just fine at home because there wasn't, much going on in the wireless environment. They took it to comp. Their robot kept disconnecting, and they called for the FTAs, but there wasn't anything that they could do at that event. At the event, the robot disconnected. That's going to be a theme: is if your robot disconnects for the during a match, there isn't really anything that FTAs can do, just like you were not allowed to step onto the field. So please make sure that your Wi-Fi radio has a clear path to your driver hub. And so just keep that in mind when designing your robot and placing your electronics.
I actually have a similar story. My sister team felt the need to place their control hub within an enclosure made of carbon fiber during the power play season for some reason. And as you may or may not know, carbon fiber blocks high signals. So that was not a good choice for them. and they kept disconnecting, and it was a bad time.
Yeah, and for reference, I do still mentor this team that the picture is from. They wouldn't listen to me, so how about all of you listen to me and not have this problem?
I don't have a good picture for this slide, but do not use the USB 2.0 port on your Rev Control hub. We recommend getting some kind of powered USB hub and plugging that into the USB 3.0 port, then plug your limelights and potentially expansion hubs or other devices and cameras into the USB hub instead, because the USB 2.0 port has the Wi-Fi chip attached. So if there's any ESD or other bad things going on the USB 2.0 port, then your Wi-Fi will disconnect, and then you will not be able to compete for the rest of that match.
Also, that's one of the easiest ways to fry your control hub. Trust me.
And I actually helped a team resolve this issue at Worlds. Their limelight was pulling too much power from the 2.0 port. Such that they were disconnecting. They switched it over to the 3.0 port, and the robot was working again. So don't have this problem. And then the other one is, so you want to properly ground and isolate all of your electronics. So if you mitigate the ESD, it's unlikely to cause problems during a match. So you want to use a grounded strap and then make sure all of your metal is connected so that you don't so that, like, because if your metal is, like, if there are parts of metal in your robot, your grounding strap will only protect what's connected. So you want to connect all your metal, make sure it's grounded into your control hub or expansion hub. And then also you want to, like, isolate your sensors. So, like, electrical tape is an easy way to do that. In the picture on the right, you can use, if you want to get fancy, you can use a 3D print, but just don't put your sensors directly on metal, and make sure all your metal on your robot is connected. And then, so thank you. So if you have any questions, let us know. Find the FTA at your event. If you're unlucky, it'll be me or Zach, or maybe if you're lucky, it'll be me or Zach. But
if you are going to a qualifier a week from today or tomorrow in the state of Massachusetts, it will be me. Just pointing that out.
If you're going to a Moorfield qualifier next weekend, it will be me. And if you're going to any event in Vermont, it will be me.
Except if it's me.
Wait, you're coming to Vermont now? Great.
Anyway, please have questions. I would love to answer questions now and not at the event.
Yes.
So I'll open it up. If anyone has any questions, I have a list. But I'll let everyone else go first. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you explain what exactly a ferrite choke is?
I'm going to hand that one back to Philip.
Hi. So a ferrite choke, it's pretty much just a piece of metal that's inside a piece of plastic that clamps onto a wire. It's used to pretty much equalize or stabilize a signal, or just compress it. I don't really know how to describe it best, but it pretty much just resists large changes like an eddy current, and minimizes any spike in signal or something like that. And it's just a piece of metal, literally.
Yeah. And you can just buy them, and if your gamepad doesn't have one, just clip it onto your wire.
This is one of the only times in FTC you can use it proactively. Otherwise, I'd recommend not using a ferrite choke for any cables, because it will minimize signal and can cause just problems with wherever you put it. Don't use it until you need it there. just on the controller cables.
Thank you.
Miriam, refresh the page.
Go ahead, Siddharth.
Yeah, so I just want to go back to the point of you saying that the USB 2.0 was like you can't use that. So you said that you can use an external hub. Am I correct?
Yes. Or you could
So
get a powered USB hub. If you just go on Amazon and Google or go on Amazon and search for a powered USB hub,
yeah,
that will
so
work.
like can you connect more than one camera? So let's say because we already have a Limelight, but we're thinking of getting like a second one for our intake. So I've seen teams use a Limelight and then some sort of smaller camera. Would it be possible to have more than two cameras, or is there like a
You
max
can
to
have as
it?
many cameras as you want. There's no limit to that. The one thing is due to a technical limit of the control hub and the FTC SDK, you can only have one Limelight on your robot, but you can have as many other webcams as you want.
Okay, thank you.
Does anyone else have any more questions? Or if not, I have a list. All right, I'll go ahead and ask mine. So, as far as I'm going to show you our robot. As far as blocking the Wi-Fi with having the control hub facing inside. So, this is our robot. Can you take the roof off? Sorry. Hang on 1 second. Let me make myself big for a second. So, this is our robot. It's a 3D printed parallel plate drivetrain. And so, oh, hang on, I have someone coming. So the control hub is here facing in, but it's mostly all 3D printed. The only extrusion, there's 1, 2, 3 extrusion pieces. Would the Wi-Fi be okay, or should we figure out like a different way to mount this somehow so that the Wi-Fi is facing out more?
I don't like that, and because yes, it's a lot of 3D prints, which are generally fine, but then it reaches across to your expansion hub, which is not a 3D print. You also have a lot of motors and wires. That looks like a very similar setup to what the picture in my presentation. A trick you can use is when you connect your driver hub to your robot, you can actually go in and see the signal strength. And then there's actually a tech tip about how to read the signal strength. And so I'd recommend reading that tech tip. And if your signal strength is good, then you're fine. If not, then you're not fine. And just know that whatever your signal strength is at home, it will be worse at an event when there are other teams who are also trying to use the wireless environment.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And then also my other question was about grounding. So with all the plastic, I don't know. There are extrusions down here where David's going to try to show you easier. Where the motors are mounted to extrusion. So I don't know if it would be best to ground it there, or you can have multiple grounding straps, right? So we'd be better off having one grounded to our control hub and one grounded to our expansion hub, and like ground multiple.
I'd say a better option would be to connect all of the metal in some way. Like you can even just be like a copper wire or something, or you can like a beam, and that way, because if all of your metal is connected, then it doesn't matter what metal you ground to, it's all protected.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's a good idea. All right. I saw another question in chat. Is it okay if we have the control and expansion hubs pointing out, even with lots of metal and stuff?
So on the Rev website, there's a diagram that shows exactly where on the control hub your Wi-Fi radio is. So that location, which you can measure if you want, but I give a little wiggle room, like make your hole a little wider, should not be blocked by any metal. because metal is about the worst thing you can do for the Wi-Fi signals. But so if pointing out of your robot, that sounds great. Just make sure it's not covered by metal.
Does anyone have any more questions? All right, so thank you guys so much for coming and for presenting. That was awesome. I know our team got lots of great ideas. I took lots of notes, so we can start implementing all that on our robot. So yeah, thank you so much, and we hope to see you at events. I'll see you guys hopefully at Worlds, MTI, all the fun stuff, volunteering. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
So now, and you guys are welcome to stay for our next presenter, or you can head out if you have to. But thank you. So then I'll turn it over to our next presenter, which is Kraken. They're going to tell us all about helping rookie teams. So if you guys have a presentation, you can go ahead and share that, or you can just take it away. We can't hear you.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, we can hear you now.
Can you guys see my screen?
And yeah.
Okay, so we are Kraken Team 20225, and like we're gonna tell you about how you can help rookie teams.
Rookie teams.
Okay, so
what judges look for. Any outreach can give you brownie points in the judging room. And guiding and recruiting other rookie teams, they could be FLL or FTC, can really show that you are a brand ambassador for First. Playing scrimmages and presenting to these other teams can also help you show the judges you are a brand ambassador.
So Kraken's experience as a rookie team. So we learned that we have to be mentors and be mentors. This shows that we ourselves are getting mentored, which shows that we're learning and we're giving back to the community by mentoring others. We learn to present ourselves as brand ambassadors. And as a rookie team, we experienced that brand building is really important, such as picking bold colors and unique logo and creating social media like a YouTube channel and making yourself seen. We also learned to start off with smaller outreaches but move to bigger ones later. And we also learned to talk about how we sustained our team or have plans to, both financially and by recruiting members for our team.
Where you can outreach to rookie teams. So local schools like elementary schools and middle schools and high schools are a great way to start. You should look for volunteer opportunities. Your high school might have stuff for you there. And then you should go to FTC events. You could hold a convention, and community centers or libraries, youth groups or STEM clubs are also a great idea.
Okay, tips and tricks for outreaches. Try making your outreach international, just like how you guys are doing load robotics across the globe, which is a great idea, and I also enjoyed a lot. Try making season-related outreaches, just like how this season is Decoded, which is archaeology themed, so you could try making your outreaches like more archaeology themed. Balance out technical and other outreaches, so make sure you're doing both sides, not just one side. Make hands-on outreaches if you're doing an outreach at schools or with kids. So try not just talking a lot, try making it entertaining. Track everything you do, like how much people you impacted. So if you have like a document area, like a place where you can document your stuff, that would be great. And you can show that as proof. Make outreach accessible to everyone, so make sure to use simple words to help them understand if you're like doing it to kids. Thank you. That's it.
Yeah, thank you. All right, does anyone have any questions? I know you guys, Krakens, you said you won the Reach Award at one of your events and the Sustain Award at the other event. What do you think was like specifically helped you guys to win those awards?
So, we got that sheet and we had some specific points to talk about, like being a brand ambassador and sustaining our team financially and by recruiting people to continue on our team. So those were some of the key points that we had on the sheet.
I have another question. How did you guys like style your presentation? Like, to tell what's the best way to get information across to the judges, you guys think?
So we used we made an app to track everything. So we put like our goals, how much people we impacted, our finances all in like one place so we can show them.
Also, we let all the members speak about one topic and we had a time frame and we couldn't go over that, but at the same time we had to like put the main and key points in there for each topic.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. I think keeping it within the 5 minutes is really important, especially for the judges. They really like that when it's like exactly 5 minutes, when everyone has done their parts.
How do you guys go about recruiting new members? That's something that our team is working on at the moment, is trying to find new members that can come and join our team. And how do you find those? I guess you're a community team, right? Not part of a school. So how do you do that?
So for us, some of our members were from a previous FL team, so we recruited people in there by hosting like a small event and presentation at our local school. So we recruited people for that team, and then now we mentor that team, and we're planning on recruiting them for Kraken.
Awesome. All right. Does anyone else have any more questions? Okay. What do you want to say?
How do you recruit new members?
I just asked that. Oh, my sister, she won't talk for some reason, but she wants to know, how do you recruit new volunteers to FIRST?
Volunteers? What do you mean by that?
Well, one of the things for the Reach Award was trying to recruit volunteers into FIRST. So I was wondering if you did that at all.
I don't think we did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a very good presentation. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Now,
do we want to show off our robot?
Our robot that we've been working on.
We kind of showed off our robot a little bit earlier, but we'll do a more detailed thing. And I know we did this at our last Load Across the Globe meeting, but it is like every single piece is new. So we'll do that again. Robots are fun. Ignore the camera. The camera is not looking at anything. That's why it's, facing the wrong direction.
So one thing that I'm really excited about that I finally got working was this intake. So we have this side kicker wheel on the side down here that spins with the same motor of the gear. So, the same motor of our normal intake. So we have these big boot wheels over here, and then the really small boot wheel that spins at the same speed as that one. And so if there's a ball right there, then we can just kick it and it'll grab it in and pull it in with the larger boot wheels. And they're wedge shaped, so if there's like the line of 3 on the ground, we'll definitely be able to get all 3 of those inside our robot as quickly as possible. I'm really proud of that because it worked really well. The other really awesome thing about it is that after you take off the belt from the inside and pull out this pin on the other side, the whole intake slides off. So it's got this dovetail shape right here, and a similar, the opposite shape on the side of the side plate. Then the whole thing can come off, and you can see here's a better close-up view of the side kicker wheel. We have a they'll build a CV joint in there. I really like how it turned out. I'm actually printing the mirrored version of this for the other side, so that way both sides will have the kicker wheels. We also use the same pins to hold on the top of our robot. They're actually out right now, but here's another one. So they slide in like this, and then after you take them out, the entire top of our robot comes off. And another thing that we were working on was a plug. So we have this 14 pin plug and then this plug. This one actually connects to the motor wires for our dual motor flywheel. Then these ones have all the pins for the ports and the connection, the sensors and the servos and everything that's in there. So that's really exciting that we're finally getting that on. Then, as you can see on the inside, we've got the new water slide, as we call it. We like to call it. It actually has sensors built into it. So we have 2 rev sensors up top and 2 more in the bottom that can tell us when there's an artifact in there. We have another kicker on the back with a servo to lift up the last ball. And let me put the intake back on real quick. So that just slides right in. Then you put on.
David,
Yes.
Eli wants to know if there's a specific reason we went with boot wheels and the vector wheel.
Eli wants to know why we did the boot wheels. The boot wheels, they are really squishy. So here's one. They are really squishy. I love them so much. And then they have the little feet on the ends, so they can just grab the ball and pull it right in. And even if it's spinning like so fast you think it won't do anything, it just really grabs the ball and pulls it. It's great. So we got these ones. And the little mini ones that are really tiny, that's what I'm using for the side intake. You can see the comparison between the big one and the little one. We also bought some medium ones. Probably going to space those out in here along the intake. They don't really contact with the ball, but it looks really cool. And I think if there was like 2 balls like against the wall or something, it would be a lot better at grabbing those. So I'm still working on everything so that you can see there's no spacers or anything yet because I just got this together this morning. But yeah, I love boot kickers. Boot kickers are my favorite. And we also may or may not be working on some load robotics wheels inspired by the 6.7 wheel from the FTAs Decoded. And it's printed out of TPU right now, so it's really squishy with PTG inside. So that should be able to lock the ball inside of our robot. I know that one of our team members is experimenting with silicone molding for the load wheel to make it even squishier. And grippier. Like this isn't as grippy as we would like, so he's gonna try and experiment with that.
And those would just rip
those would,
wheels on here.
Some of them. Replace some on the outside, maybe. Oh yeah, and then our turret that goes on. We have our cable chain in here. You can't see it very well; it's kind of covered up, but that's in here. So our turret can spin back and forth however it wants, all the way around, everything like that. And all our wires are tucked away in here. So they all go in right here, and they come out down here to where all of our plugs are, so they can plug into the bottom of the robot. Then we have an adjustable hood up here. I like to show that off. And then our 3.5 pound flywheel weight that we're still testing.
Very loud.
We love it. And the banana, of course, which is the little blocker that can block the artifacts from going through in here. Yeah, right there. So that's our robot at this point in the season. We're very proud of it so far. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I saw someone asked if they wanted to show. It's a blue banana. Yes. I didn't even think about that. That's funny. You're gonna paint the boot wheels. We hadn't really thought about it. I'm not sure because
No.
do you think they would paint? Like, I'm not sure if the
Paint them, I think they would lose some of their, yeah, like the paint would just crack off them, I think, because they can bend so much. That would be cool, but I think the black color these is like a nice contrast to all the like range of colors that you have.
All right. I saw someone asking if they could share their CAD. Go ahead. We'd love to see it. Yes, rainbow or fun colored silicone.
Ooh.
It's not that pretty because this is our current bot right now. Okay. So has anyone heard of FRC Team 118? Like Robonauts, they're like extremely famous. They like I think they won Milstein division this year. So we got a crap ton of new members this year. So we wanted them to like learn how to build a robot. So right now we're just showing the every bot. So it has an intake, it has a catapult for its outtake. No side panels right now. We actually need to we were planning on adding side panels, but then we just decided to go straight to our V3. So this is right now like what we have, but sometime in January this year we're gonna have a massive like change. So it's gonna look completely different. Now we're gonna go to our main CAD. So I know there's nothing much to see because I'm still assembling everything. But we are going with the turret this year. We're going with the turret, a retractable hood. But we're not going with the spindexer. This year we think that volume matters more than sorting, and that if you score as many balls as possible, you can actually get more points than people that spindex. So I'm gonna show you guys. Well, I'll first show you our turret because it's in a separate document. Where is it? So this is our like turret, and basically it's still in progress, but like we use I believe it's a AH301 bearing. I think I'm wrong. And basically what we can do is we can spin pretty fast. So when I attach the motor and everything, it should be around 1150 RPM. And then we would attach our retractable hood and shooter on it. And for our main robot, we are going mainly with the Rev this year due to us having a lot of stock of Rev products. So we have like the Rev Robotics Mechanism Drive. And we actually found that pretty useful because it's much smaller. It has the smaller mechanism wheels, which is actually perfect for our build because we are planning a lift incoming. Trust, guys, it's going to be a very, very, very cool lift. Nothing that anyone else has ever seen before. And another thing about our lift, so we haven't actually cut it yet, but there are a lot of drawings. It's not like we're going to use Mitsumis or belt drives to lift off because we just found those to be extremely bulky. So our strat is that an offset robotics cascades like that, David. So our first thought was actually use the offset robotics cascading slides, but we found out that they take up a lot of space, and since our robot is going to have a massive form factor, so it's going to be pretty big, we've found out a way to lift off using something called a scissor lift. So if you guys know, like in FLO, you have these like scissor lift things, and you can like move things pretty far forward and pretty far backward with them. So our strategy is just to motorize one of those scissor lifts and machine them out of aluminium. And then when we want to lift, we will just lift off the scissor lift. Now, I maybe think this will work, but I don't. It's like sort of a debating topic right now because if we do the scissor lift and we lift off and our robot falls, it's completely cooked because the initial drawings that we have has things situated in places that if it falls, there's no more robot. So we're currently doing an active redesign on that as well. Thanks for seeing the CAD. Wait, I'll show you the shooter. Shooter. Wait, no. Where did I leave it? Which? There's so many tabs on it. Oh yeah. So here we basically wait, no, wrong one. So we basically combined the use of rev motors. So we have dual rev motors, and then we're using a belt on it as well. And then we use Go Builder Rhino. So it's like a mix of Go Builder Rhino and it's basically a mix of Go Builder and Rev because we don't actually want to buy as much Go Builder this year because we want to be very efficient with our finances. And currently our finances are in shambles, so we need to email some more companies. Thanks for seeing the CAD. Does anyone have like any suggestions on how to improve it? I think I'm gonna ask Eli if he's still here because I've seen a lot of his CAD. So like, does anyone have any suggestions for it?
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you for sharing your CAD.
I really like your shooter. It looks really good.
Thanks. The Toro, we actually I'm sorry, the shooter was like actually inspired of something that I saw on the FTC. Like some dude posted a shooter. So I was like looking at it and then I just took like the idea of using the belts, the dual motors and the belts, and we threw that in with us, and that was actually an inspo. Because we were actually looking at different shooters for this season. So we found out that when you do a retractable hood, there are so many different ways to do it. So for one instance, you can pivot the hood off of your shooter axle. So where you're spinning the flywheel, you can pivot your shooter off that. But then we like looked at different teams and we found out that sometimes the speed of the flywheel wears out the like holes that you use for the to pivot the shooter, which means your retractable hood won't be as efficient and as quick as, let's say, if you had it powered some other way, which is what we did. So we basically sandwiched the bottom part of the shooter and then we added the retractable part on top. So we basically have everything put in a small form factor.
How do you guys plan to make the plates for the shooter and like the inside hood?
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch that. Like,
how do you guys plan to make the plates for the shooter? Like the outside plates and then the inner plates?
And what do you mean? Like what plates?
Printing or metal or something?
Oh, yeah. So since we're family community, we don't exactly have access to CNC machines or laser cutters. The only thing we have access to is a Bamboo Labs P1S. So our plan is to my school, they do wood machining, but we're trying to get them done in aluminium. So there is a team in the UK, 32987, Absolute W team. They help me with the Tara and they're offering to machine all of the, like if anyone needs panels machined, they'll do it for free. You just need to pay for the material cost. So we're probably going to get it done there. I think we're going to go with aluminium because, as I said, most of our parts we're going to, they will either be COTS parts or we'll CNC them. So
yeah, that makes sense. Cool.
We're basically just going to base everything off our Rev drivetrain. I wanted to go parallel plate this year, but I really could not be bothered to spend a lot of hours CADing. So we're just going to add parallel plates to the Rev drivetrain, and we're just going to call it a parallel plate drivetrain because that's parallel plates. And also, I haven't actually added this in the CAD, but we are going with belts. So this will actually be a belt driven instead of using the Rev Robotics ultraplanetary gearbox, like 90 degree.
Cool.
Yeah, can't wait to see it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, the full when I'll promise because I was on vacation until like yesterday. I landed yesterday, so I'm gonna lock in the next week, and I hope that the CAD review is done, coming out next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
I saw one question from Josephine. What are you planning to do for your transfer?
Oh, for our transfer, so we were like looking at different transfers. So we watched a lot of Behind the Bots. Don't blame me, like it's free content. It's like I can watch it and I'm not complaining. So we looked at different transfers. So one of the transfers that caught our eye mostly was Techno Z. So obviously you know them, world record holders, absolutely insane performance last year. So they actually, and we have currently we have a rubber band intake. So in our on our V2. So we were thinking of intaking the robot. Intaking the artifacts from outside using vectored wheels and gecko wheels. And then inside to transfer, we were gonna go with rubber bands. We'd have like a different type, we'd have mixed transfer, if you know what I'm saying. And we were thinking of a linkage system where the ball goes straight and there's like a linkage that brings it up. But we've seen that teams can stutter, like let me see, Eli. Can I suggest kickers? So the thing with kickers is that they aren't. Well, my opinion basically is that they aren't as efficient because you have to manually kick every single ball up. So I was just thinking we directly like shoot the ball into the shooter, and then we'd use some servos to power in. We'd give secondary power to it, so in case our motor can't keep up, because currently our entire platform is just Rev. So, and I think some of us know how Rev products can go kaboom at the most important of times. So we're just like trying to figure out a way to utilize what we have. Also, yeah, Andy Mark compliant wheels transfer is peak. Yeah, I've seen a lot of love for the anti-mark compliant wheels. The only thing is shipping to the UK is extremely expensive, and I can't afford to pay like $500 to get one small wheel. So if Andy Mark like lowers their shipping prices, then definitely we would consider that. But currently we are just thinking of TPU or open source vectored wheels.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, we are gonna pocket these. I've just not got the time to pocket them, but they'll be looking really tough when it comes out.
I've seen some people be really successful with the rubber bands for their transfer. Like just have like a straight like a ramp kind of with the rubber bands on the top.
Yeah, that's exactly our plan. And then we have the vectored wheels in the front. I think lots of people have seen the Seattle Solvers one. We were also thinking of that because it uses a small ramp to like take. So basically, it intakes the ball, and then it has like a sort of curve to push it up, and then it would have. I believe it's a servo transfer, and there's like two wheels that just push it up.
Yeah, I know DeSoto Technics has one like that where it's called
DeSoto Technics, for my goats. They like the PTO. I think everything about that bot is Eli, man. That's not funny. But it's pretty. It's a really good bot. Seriously. The Misumis, we were thinking of incorporating those, but we wanted to do cables, and I don't know how to cable. Yeah. Offset do have nanoliths. I haven't actually seen lots of Offset products. I've only seen the main cascading slide, which are smaller than box tubes.
Theseus used the nano box tubes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, these are the big ones. They're a little chunky.
So like because like is it just me, or every single day you're just gonna see a new FTC alumni create a new product? So this is the first time I've been hearing about this Offset. Like before I've heard about Offset, there's Axon, there's Ferro components. It's all like alumni based. So I think that's the best part. If you compete in the competition yourself and then you know what you want, just design it and create it. It's like one of the cool things.
Go Builder is alumni too.
Yeah, Go Builder. Go Builder Glaze. There's a lot of Go Builder Glaze, especially at the UK Championships. Ethan himself came. So like our team got a photo with him, even though we were a Rev-based team. Don't know how we managed to pull that off, but it was pretty cool. But Go Builder is like they've sort of they've pivoted what they want towards what they've pivoted their products to what the FTC like members want. Like if you need lights, they like even they I think they openly take feedback and suggestions. Eli, are you glazing Theseus now? Ethan is the goat. Okay. Looks like the majority is voting Go Buddha. Damn. No, but yeah, like Go Buddha is pretty good. Rav is kind of mid.
Yeah, you can look at our robot from last year, Marvin, and he's just like a solid cube of Gobilda extrusion. Plus,
Yeah, I saw the I remember watching. I actually remember coming across your YouTube channel, and I saw the like level 3 ascent video, and it was super cool because it was my first time seeing a multicolored board. Is it still there?
So yes and no. You get it off the shelf so they can see it. But we've been scavenging it for parts. So we
Oh no.
yeah. We took all the wheels off because we needed them to build like a little basic chassis. And then yeah, it's kind of really sad. All the motors are gone now. Yeah.
So is it just a raw frame? Like, is it just a frame?
Time to show you guys.
Oh, Marvin.
at this point, it's basically a pair of Viper slides on like a frame.
Damn.
Yeah.
So it's just a pair of Viper sides. No, Marvin, man. That pains me to see. Because I actually remember the fun robotics video. There's a short of you guys FTC at the World Championship, and I'm like, damn, that robot is so cool because it's all multicolored. Because like I think that was the first ever robot that I've seen that has different types of colors. Because most teams just adhere to like one or two colors and then throw it at the yes FTC load with.
This is here.
Yeah.
Eli's glazing so hard. FTC at World Champs and load with L3 and Robo Kings. Oh yeah, Robo Kings was in there as well. Damn.
Yeah, we tried to make our robot as colorful as possible. And then this year it's continuing, but with a 3D printed parallel plate drivetrain. So we're nearly all 3D printed, which means we can go crazy with colors.
It's like Prusa XL, right?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
W.
Yeah, we just put the enclosure on and we like a few weeks ago, and we were amazed at how well it prints now. Yeah, go ahead and share your CAD. All right, thank you for coming, Siddharth.
Bye.
Hopefully we'll see you at our next Load Across the Globe meeting.
See you guys. It was super fun. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, time to figure out how to share Fusion. This is not the right one. Sorry, I've got a very slow laptop here. Second.
Good.
Taking its sweet time. And now it's just crashing. Okay. There we go. Yippee, Hydra, maybe, if it loads.
Yeah, you guys have a crazy robot. I like the whole the retracting thing and then the 3 launchers. It's crazy.
Yeah, it'd be great if it didn't fall apart, but
Blue
still loading.
it keeps the robot. Hey, I like that.
All right, and sorry, in progress with the new ramp iteration, so it doesn't look quite right, but it's fine. Yep, got the triple shooters, individual kicking chambers. Missing an RGB up here. And the whole wire portion. Yeah, that's pretty simple, but yeah, it's goofy.
Easy.
There's a lot of swift wheels in the front there.
Oh yeah, we don't have the flywheels in the CAD right here, but we bought out Swift for their flywheels. We bought the entire rest of their stock. So yeah, that's fun. We got the motors back here. Odometry battery back here. One thing I really do like is the cable routing. It all goes through one long strand back here to the hubs. So all of the wires for everything goes through. I was about to just point physically. Okay. Yeah, through this hole right here, and into a matching one right here, where it joins with all of the cables from down here, like the back wheels, the odometry pods, and all connects through this hole right here and up to the hubs. So best cable management of any robot we've had by far, but
You have to have good cable management because the whole thing shrinks. If not, you'd get a bunch of squished wires.
yeah. Only issues we've had with that in terms of cables were two of the kicker servo cables got caught somewhere in here and unplugged themselves, but that's about the worst of it.
Do you fire all three artifacts at once? Or is it?
Yeah, most of the time. We can index, but in reality, it's just faster to shoot them all at once. There's a reason we're switching to spam game.
What servos or motor are you using to like expand and construct the robot?
It's only two servos. We've got GoBuildas on the CAD, but we've actually switched to using Swift balance servos. Yeah, there's a lot of Swift on this pod. So just two servos. Somehow they don't explode, but
Yeah.
get them ready to phase this one out. But yep, that's our bot.
Cool. Thank you for sharing.
Awesome.
Yep. Eli says average fusion experience. That is so true.
Would anyone else like to share anything? If not, yeah, thank you for coming. I'll share my little closing slideshow here real quick. That's the end. Okay, real quick closing notes. I'll encourage you guys to bring other teams, apply for Team of the Week. I know a lot of you on here already have, but if you haven't, go ahead and apply. Join our Discord, which I'm pretty sure all of you are on there. And then remember our next meeting, so February 15th at noon EST, which is that's the same time as this meeting was today, and that will be Gear View, and they'll be presenting on portfolio optimization, and then also March 23rd at 7:30 p.m. EST, and that will be the Terra Bridges talking about their assistive technology and the Connect Award. So that should be pretty awesome. So thank you all so much for coming. Hopefully you enjoyed. I know our presenters, it was two very different presenters, but hopefully you enjoyed both of them. And we'll see you next time. So thank you, guys.
Good morning, Eli.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Yeah, good luck with your seasons. Yeah, thank you so much. And good luck this season.
Are there any after meeting bits?
Yeah.
All right, bye. Thank you for coming.
All right, so it's only 5 people left.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me.